Well, of course, legislative leaders from both parties have their own priorities, and criminal justice reform is one of them, with some lawmakers looking to make some offenses less serious and others more punitive. Jason Doyle continues our team coverage with a closer look at what's already under discussion.
Not being a lawyer, this is an intimidating committee, you know.
Lawmakers are looking for balance within the criminal justice system. They want to continue reducing the prison population by giving non-violent offenders a second chance, while also focusing on increasing the punishment for violent offenders. For example, right now, if a person strangles a stranger, that's deemed a violent offense. But if that same person did it to his or her spouse, it's not.
If I was mad at you and I came over and strangled you, I could receive prison time of up to life imprisonment. If I was mad at my spouse and I strangled my spouse, the most time I could receive in prison now is 3 years.
Representative Ross Ford is looking to change that with House Bill 3371.
What I'm asking is we're going to change it to a violent crime and seek to change the penalties from 1 to 10 years, and then on second offense from 10 to 20 years.
I think this bill does work to prevent strangulation by a domestic partner.
YWCA Oklahoma City Senior Director of Violence Prevention and Response, Amanda Kemp, says domestic strangulation should be taken very seriously.
Strangulation, it only takes about 62 seconds for someone to die from strangulation. And then also victims within a domestic violence relationship who are strangled are 750 times more likely to die in that relationship.
House Bill 3371 won approval from the House Judiciary Committee 16-0 and can now be considered by the full House.
You know, right now we have mental health court statutes. They're literally 6 paragraphs long.
At the same hearing, Representative Colin Walke addressed additional criminal justice reform. He wants to keep those who are mentally ill from going to prison unnecessarily. House Bill 2934 would establish the Oklahoma Mental Health Court Act.
So Oklahoma currently has mental health courts in about 17 counties. We need it in all 77 counties because we're able to save about $15,000 a year by putting somebody through a mental health court as opposed to incarcerating them.
Walke acknowledges his legislation remains a work in progress.
We need to have a framework that works for both the Department of Mental Health, the justice system, everyone, so that we're not increasing too many costs on somebody, but at the same time providing uniformity statewide.
And even if some districts have a mental health court, how they're required to handle cases isn't that clear in state law.
And those handful of district courts are doing a great job. The problem, however, is that they don't have a lot of guidance on how to do it because our statutes are so vague and ambiguous on this issue. And so as a result of that, we're really going to start implementing mental health courts statewide in order to reduce incarceration rates and get people out to be productive members of society. We have to figure out a regulatory framework to make this work statewide.
House Bill 2934 unanimously passed the House Judiciary Committee 17-0. Proponents of criminal justice reform are also seeking to reduce or eliminate the fines and fees paid by offenders.
When people enter the criminal justice system, they often become trapped because the fines and fees, and when I say fees, I'm not talking about punitive fines, I'm talking about fees that are tacked on to the charge, become so burdensome that people end up being re-incarcerated for not paying those fees.
One way to reduce fees is saving money. A cost-saving proposal being considered: delivering witness subpoenas through email.
We might be able to go ahead and continue to save money through issuing subpoenas via email, those sorts of things, which will reduce the fines and fees and all of those sorts of costs that we're currently trying to cut. And that would save about $25,000 a year for the district attorney's costs. And if that were the case, then you could put 5 people through mental health courts just through the cost-saving mechanisms of how we serve subpoenas.
House Bill 2789 passed 16-1 and will move onto the House floor. Spino believes the legislature should also find a way to properly fund diversionary programs, as State Question 781 was meant to do. Approved by voters in 2016, it's the companion to State Question 780, which made drug possession and certain property crimes a misdemeanor. The savings were meant to fund those diversion programs through State Question 781. The legislature has yet to act on that issue.
The people that have been let out on the commutation, people who are no longer going to be incarcerated because of 780, those people aren't getting the help that they need, and they'll probably end up back in the criminal justice system.
Another hurdle to successful reintegration for nonviolent offenders is getting back their driver's license following a drug charge. House Bill 3222 would change that.
Currently, your license can be suspended for misdemeanor possession. This gets rid of that. It still allows license suspension, obviously, for felony possession or distribution, just doesn't allow it for misdemeanor.
House Bill 3222 received unanimous support from the members of the Judiciary Committee. Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.
And again, if you or someone you know has experienced domestic abuse, the YWCA has a statewide hotline for help. It is 405-917-9922.